variations of pressures along different axes in the
in a static fluid. XYZ
I will
axis.
correct you. Proshun, I will correct you. The
Yes.
plural of axis is axis, not axes.
Axis.
Be careful.
Sorry.
Okay,
Axis.
you need not be sorry. It's fine. None of us are Shakespeare. It's quite common. Anyway, so what I'll do is I will share the page of the slide to you, if that's okay with everybody. All right.
Okay, sir.
And in the meantime, if anybody joins, you just tell me so that I can come back and admit him. All right.
Okay, sir.
So let's. Let's check. Okay. Can you all see the slides?
Yes, sir.
You can all see the slides. Okay. So variation of. Yes, please. কে বাবা এত হাসাহাসি করছো? Any problem? Anybody? কারো কোনো সমস্যা হয়েছে কি? Okay. So I'll go back to the slide. Now, variation of pressure with position in a static fluid. Who asked this question?
Me, sir.
Obi, is it?
আমি জিজ্ঞাসা করেছিলাম, স্যার।
No, sir, not me. Roshan asked, sir.
Or Proshun?
Yes, sir.
Who asked this question?
আরে আমি স্যার, প্রসূন।
Who is me?
প্রসূন স্যার।
আচ্ছা, প্রসূন জিজ্ঞেস করেছিল। Fine. Okay, understood. Obi, is this clear to you? The variation of pressure with
yes, sir,
position in a static fluid?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, we want to. Proshun, ঠিক আছে. Proshun, but can you see the slides?
Yes, sir. It is very much clearly visible.
All right, fine. Now, to understand the variation of pressure at a point with space, with position, we have considered a three-dimensional space, and we have chosen this Cartesian coordinate system x, y, z. The coordinate system is arranged in such a way that the z-axis is vertically upwards. That means against the acceleration due to gravity. So your weight always acts in the negative z direction. Is this clear? Now,
yes,
we have considered a point M. Now, in a three-dimensional space, any point M is characterized by three numbers. It's x coordinate, y coordinate, and z coordinate. So correspondingly, if the pressure at point M is P, that is also characterized by three numbers, x, y, z. So if I give you these two different values of these triplets, x1, y1, z1, and x2, y2, and z2, the pressures at the first point, we may call it as P1, and the pressure at the second point, we may call it as P2. If P1 and P2 are not equal, then we'll conclude that pressure varies with space. Is up to this much clear, Proshun?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We want to find out the variation of pressure with position. Now, any position vector in a three-dimensional space between 2 points 1 and 2 can be considered to be broken up into three components, some x, some y, and some z. Rather, some delta x, some delta y, and some delta z. Agreed?
Yes.
Agreed, everybody?
Yes, sir.
So when I say that I want to study variation of pressure with position, I will find out three components of this variation. One is variation of pressure with the x direction, disregarding any variation in the other two directions. So we'll talk about partial derivatives, del p, del x. Similarly, we can find out del p, del y, and del p, del z. Now, if there are 2 points 1 and 2 separated by delta x, delta y, delta z, the total pressure difference between these 2 points is del P del X into delta X plus del P del Y into delta Y plus del P del Z into delta Z. Are we clear on this? Again, Proshun, I'm asking you.
Yes, sir.
Now, this expression, the last expression that I have written, is actually a part of a series. Will somebody tell me what this series is called? Obi?
Sir, the
Can you
screen
answer?
is black, sir. I can't understand anything.
Once again?
Your screen is black.
Sir, your screen went black.
Okay, let me see. Okay, I do not know why. I'll reshare.
Yes, sir. It has went black.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, is it okay now?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, Obi, can you answer this question? The last equation that is written on the slide is actually part of a series. Can you tell me what that series is? Anybody in the class? Come on. This is something you should answer. You have all done engineering mathematics. You have all covered your plus 2 school final exam. Anybody?
Sir, can you repeat?
Yes, please.
Sir, can you repeat what you said?
Keshav?
Sir, can
The
you repeat
last
what you said?
equation that you see on this, yeah, I'm repeating. I'm saying the last equation that you are seeing on the screen is a part of a series. What is that series called? I can't believe this. There are 25 people out there. Nobody can answer. Come on, make an attempt. You can at the most be wrong.
Sir, Euler's differential expansion.
Euler's differential expansion. Actually, Euler's differential expansion uses this series. The name of the series is more fundamental, Shanta. So, what is this series? Again, you have heard about finite series, infinite series while doing your plus 2 exams, engineering maths, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Can you name an infinite series? Any infinite series, can you name it? Obi?
Sir,
Euler
series.
series, sir.
Yes, Shreyash?
Sir, Euler series.
Euler series. This is not Euler series actually. Somebody else? Somebody else?
Taylor series.
Sir, Maclaurin
Taylor series. This is actually first order Taylor series for a multivariable problem. Since your pressure is a function of 3 variables, x, y, and z, so this is Taylor series, but this is Taylor series is actually an infinite series. You have truncated the Taylor series to retain only the first order terms. Because if I had included, say, the second order terms, I would have obtained terms like del squared p del x squared delta x whole squared by factorial 2, del squared p del y squared delta y whole squared by factorial 2. Understood? Is this clear to everybody? Is this clear?
Yes, yes, sir.
Proshun, if I went up to
Actually-
third order, I would have terms depending on delta x cube, delta y cube, delta z cube. Now, when can I truncate a Taylor series to first order, excluding the other higher order terms? Can somebody tell me?
Sir, will you please repeat the question?
Come on. When can I truncate a Taylor series to retain only the first order terms, excluding the higher order terms? When can
Sir,
I
when-
do that?
When the higher order terms are negligible.
Exactly, but under what condition OV are the higher order terms negligible? When
Sir,
delta
when it's a
x,
square or
delta
a
y,
cube of smaller
delta
value.
z are extremely small.
Yes,
Meaning, if delta x, for example, say if delta x is 0.01, delta x squared is 0.0001, which is very small. Delta x cubed is even smaller. Do you all agree?
Yes, sir.
So delta x, delta y, delta z, they have to be small. Or in other words, the dp, the pressure difference between 2 points I'm talking, the distance between them should be extremely small. Only then I can represent the pressure variation between the 2 points with a first order Taylor series expansion. Is this logic clear and acceptable to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. So let's proceed to the next slide. Okay. What I'll do is I'll share.
Sir, your screen has been stopped.
Yes, sir. It
I know.
turned black then.
Bear with me, Prashud. I know. Okay. Yeah. Please bear with me. Okay. Can you see anything now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I'll go for the slideshow. So we'll separately calculate pressure variation in the x direction, the y direction, and the z direction. Is this clear?
Yes.
So I have now showed you the acceleration due to gravity vector, the g vector. Can you all see the g vector?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So the acceleration due to gravity vector is acting in the minus z direction. And this red one is our point. So what we do is, we consider, say the pressure at this point is P. So we consider a rectangular parallelepiped at this point, surrounding this point, in such a way that the point lies at the geometric center of the rectangular parallelepiped. Is this clear? Proshun?
Yes, sir.
Remember, we are trying to find out del P del X. That means we are ignoring any variation of pressure with y or z direction. So the first step is, now the dimensions of this rectangular parallelepiped is delta x, delta y, delta z. What should be the condition? They should be extremely small. Is the reason clear now? Otherwise,
Yes.
Taylor series first order would not be applicable.
Yes,
But
ekdom, sir.
whenever I'm making it small, I should be careful. It should not be so small that continuum hypothesis is violated. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So there is actually a limit on the dimension. The lowest limit is given by continuum hypothesis, and the highest limit is given by the situation, so that Taylor series first order is acceptable. Okay. Now, are the others in the class following? Because I can hear only one or two voices. Are the others
Sir,
in the
we are
class following?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
that's great.
Understood.
Now, I consider a plane that is parallel to the ZOY plane, but in the central part of the rectangular parallelepiped, containing the point whose pressure is P. Is this clear? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
This is
Yes, sir.
important. Now, since I ignore any variation of pressure in the y or in the z direction, in the z or in the y direction, so all points in this orangish plane, they will have the same pressure P. Do you all agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I consider a plane behind this plane, the blue plane, it is separated by a distance. Sorry. The blue plane is separated by a distance delta x by 2, but in the negative x direction. That means from the x of the P plane, you have to go delta x by 2 in the negative direction to arrive at the blue plane. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then the pressure on the blue plane will be P minus delta P delta x into delta x by 2. Agreed? That
Yes, sir.
means pressure at the P plane plus del P del X, change of pressure in the X direction into the actual change in X direction, that is minus delta X by 2. So it will be P minus del P del X into delta X by 2. Agreed? Roshan?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I consider another plane which I call the frontal plane, the green one. It is ahead of the P plane by delta X by 2. So you are moving plus delta X by 2 in the positive X direction. So the pressure there will be P plus del P del X into delta X by 2.
Yes, sir.
Agreed?
হ্যাঁ এবার বুঝতে পেরেছি
Yes, sir.
এবার বুঝতে পেরেছো তো? তাহলে what are the forces acting in the X direction? খেয়াল করে দেখো। On the green plane, I have a force acting in the negative X direction, which I call F minus X. On the blue plane, I have a force which is acting on the positive X direction. We call it F plus X. Now, the total force in the X direction is F plus X minus F minus X. And since this is the fluid is in static equilibrium, it is a static fluid, these forces must balance because there is no net acceleration in the X direction. Do you agree?
হ্যাঁ স্যার
Now, what is F plus X? It is the pressure on the blue plane into the area of the blue plane. The area of the blue plane is delta Z into delta Y. The area of the green plane is also delta Z into delta Y. So F plus X is P minus del P del X into delta X by 2 into the area minus P plus del P del X into delta X by 2 into the area. They should add up. Now, I should remind you here one thing. We are saying no other forces are acting apart from the pressure forces. Why? Because the fluid is at rest. So velocity at all points is 0. So there cannot be any viscous force. Agreed?
yes
Secondly, we are ignoring any surface tension forces, any magnetic forces, any nuclear forces. All these forces are absent, as we are stating. So the only force present here are the pressure forces. And this brings us del P del X is equal to 0. It means if you move along the X-axis, either in the positive direction or the negative direction, pressure remains same. It does not change. Is this part
Okay.
clear, everybody?
একদম একদম স্যার
But একটা জিনিস, be very careful. This is true provided Z is an axis opposite to acceleration due to gravity. That means your x-axis lies on a horizontal plane. See, XOY is a horizontal plane. Do you understand? Because Z is a vertical axis.
হ্যাঁ
So if you move in the X direction in a horizontal plane, pressure does not change. The same thing goes for the Y direction, which is another horizontal arm of the horizontal plane. Del P del Y also comes out to be 0. So if you move anywhere in the XOY plane or a plane parallel to it, at all points on the horizontal plane, the pressure remains invariant. Is this acceptable?
yes
Is this acceptable? But for the vertical direction, we have an extra force. That is the weight of the fluid is acting vertically downwards.
that
So
G factor
Fz will be F plus Z, F minus Z minus the weight, which the weight acts in the negative Z direction. I know the volume of the parallelepiped, that is delta X, delta Y, delta Z. If the density of the fluid is rho, mass is rho into the volume, and weight is rho into G into the volume. That is what I have written. Can you see the weight component?
একদম স্যার একদম
Rho into the volume into G. So that comes out to be del P del Z is equal to minus gamma. However, why was I writing delta P delta Z instead of dP dz? Because my initial assumption was pressure is a function of X, Y, and Z. So I was talking about partial derivatives. But I have proved to you that pressure is not a function of X. Pressure is not a function of Y because del P del X and del P del Y are 0. So pressure is only a function of Z, and hence I can write del P del Z is equal to minus gamma as dP dz is equal to minus gamma. Is this logic clear?
একদম একদম স্যার
Is this সকলের কাছে clear তো?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So I can see a lot of faces. Ronnie,
Sir.
Shobhik, Tuhin, Keshav.
Sir, screen
Yes,
share
please,
off है.
Keshav.
Sir,
Huh?
we actually learned this in our lower classes that the pressure along the
Absolutely.
horizontal remains constant. We are just deriving it now, right?
Exactly. You are deriving a mathematical proof of that, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Any other questions, anybody?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Anybody? Obi, yes, please. Obi, go ahead.
Sir, what is meant by static equilibrium of a fluid?
Static equilibrium of a fluid implies that the balance of all the forces acting on a fluid in a particular direction add up to zero. That means there is no linear acceleration of the fluid. Is this clear?
Okay, sir. And sir, I also have another doubt.
Yes, please.
Sir, what is the piezometric pressure? What does it represent?
Piezometric head. Okay. Again, I will share. Okay. As you can see, by integrating the hydrostatic pressure equation, I have obtained an equation like this: P plus rho gz, sorry, P plus rho gz is a constant. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
If I divide by rho into g, then what is the unit of each term on the left? What is the unit of z? What is the unit of z?
Meter.
Meter. It's
Distance
length.
unit length meter.
Okay. Distance, length. So P by rho g is also a length. Do you all agree?
Yes, sir.
Z is called the elevation head. P by rho g is called the static pressure head. All right? Or pressure head. The summation of these two, elevation and pressure head, is called the piezometric head. Now, why is it called a piezometric head? That means, try to understand one thing. It is very difficult to measure Z. But this sum can be measured very easily. Check on this cylinder. So I have a flask having some pressure PB. The moment I talk about elevation, I must mention a reference line from which I am measuring length. Do you all agree? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is called the datum. In this case, a horizontal line passing through the center of the flask is taken as datum. So the elevation of the point here is ZB. Okay. Now to make you understand why we need to define something called the piezometric head, let me do one thing. Let me introduce a slide. Okay. Can you all see the screen once again?
Yes, ekdom sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. আচ্ছা, ধরা যাক আমি এই ছবিটাই ধার করে আনছি। সব বাদ দাও। Now, say the pressure at the center of the flask is PB. Okay. What is the pressure head? Anybody? The pressure head would be, the pressure head would be This much, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, that will be reflected by this height. Basically, the pressure here is due to the weight of this column of fluid from the center to the free surface. Do you all agree?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I ask you the pressure, what is the pressure at point B? It is very simple. You take a scale, you measure this height, say it is 2 meters. If you know rho and g, multiply 2 meters with rho and g, you will get your pressure at the point B. Do you agree?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
But there is a problem. You do not know where the center lies.
But the center.
Where does the center lie?
Uh,
The flask is opaque. Okay? The flask is opaque. So you do not know where exactly the center lies. What you do is, you measure this length instead. What does this length indicate? First of all, let us consider another length. What does this length indicate? The height of the point B above some reference line, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then what does this total length indicate? What does this total length indicate?
The height of that point plus the height from the datum.
What is
Total
this
length.
called? What is this called? What is this called? This is called the piezometric head. The static pressure head plus the elevation of the point. Understood?
Okay, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
think Obi প্রশ্নটা করেছিল কি? Did
Yes,
Obi
sir.
ask
Yes,
the
sir.
question?
Yes, sir. Now I understand.
So you need not know where is B. You simply take the free surface, take a reference line and measure the height. That's called the piezometric head. All
In
right.
this case, that last line is the reference line.
This is called the datum.
Okay,
This
sir.
last line is called, just one sec, datum. Okay.
Understood, sir.
Now, try to understand one thing. It really does not matter where the datum lies. If the datum instead of lying here, it could have lied here. Because most of the times, we are interested in finding out difference of pressure heads. So, if the datum lies here, ZB would be elongated rather than this length. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Say the datum, just a moment. Say the datum instead of that line, it becomes this line. Then the ZB would be more. Agreed? The ZB would increase. Yes, isn't it? If the datum is a bit lower.
Yes, sir.
But if I take difference in elevation between 2 points, it doesn't matter how much the data moves. It is always the difference in the height between them. Do you understand? খেয়াল করে দেখো. Say I have this as my ZB. I have another vessel here. Is A. Now, what is the elevation of A?
ZA.
This will be ZA. Don't you agree?
Yes, sir.
This will be ZA. Now tell me one thing. ZB minus ZA. Will this value change if I shift my datum from here to here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
You understand why the position of datum is superfluous as long as you are interested in finding out difference of heads between 2 points? Is this clear? Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So any other questions, anybody? Anybody? So shall I assume up to slide number 16, you have more or less understood? I think a bit more will be clear once we do a problem. Shall I do a problem? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let
Yes,
us
sir.
do a particular problem. Now, we now have about 20 guys present here. Now, let me ask the others. Deep, Shomodeep, Anusha, Munshi, Rahul, Harshit, you guys are you following what is going on in the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ramiz, Shuchandrima, Ronnie, Indrajit, Orijit, Wasim. You guys are following what is going on? Now, see, I understand it at times is irritating for you. Every sentence I utter and I say, are you following? And I expect an answer. But the problem is I can't see you guys. So unless and until I can interact, it becomes very difficult to carry on with the class. Okay, so bear with me with this difficulty. All right. Now, let me share a screen again. Okay. Can you all see this? Can you all see the problem? Everybody. Everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, I would request you to note down the problem. I'll give you 2 minutes time because I'll be scrolling down. So you will have to give me the numbers. I won't be able to see the problem. So I would request all of you to note down this problem. Take 1.5 minutes time, finish it off. Okay, is it done? Can I proceed? Anybody? Is it done?
Sir, I am done. Can you show the image below?
No, the image I'll give a bit later. First,
Oh,
note down
it
the
is
problem.
fine. Okay, sir.
Everybody has copied it down? Anybody who has not yet copied? All right. The problem has got two parts. The first part is there are two vessels which are connected to a U-tube manometer. The manometric liquid is mercury, whose relative density is given. And the connecting tubes, and obviously the flasks, they are filled with alcohol, whose relative density is also given. The vessel at the higher pressure is 2 meters lower in elevation than the other. What is the pressure difference between the vessels when the steady difference in the level of mercury menisci is 225 millimeter, and what is the difference of the piezometric head. Now let me come to the figure. Can you see the figure?
Yes, sir.
First of all, let me explicitly mention, as per the problem, PA is greater than PB, and hence vessel A is lower than vessel B. How much is it lower? Somebody tell me.
HB minus HA.
No, what is the numerical value? How much is it lower? 2 meters.
Yes, sir.
I have chosen an arbitrary datum. So the first thing that I can write is, just give me 1 minute time. Just 1 second. Okay. So the first thing that I can write is HB minus HA is equal to 2 meters. This is one thing. What is the difference in the height of the Mercury menisci in the two limbs of the U-tube? How much is it given?
225 millimeter.
225 মিলিমিটার।
Right. Is equal to 225 millimeters, so that is 0.225 meters. What else is given? What else is given? What else data is given to us? Tell me fast.
And all those relative
Relative
densities.
densities of the liquids.
Right. Now, as it goes from the problem, the blue colored zone is the mercury. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the yellow colored zones are alcohol. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is given rho mercury. It will be how much, will somebody tell me? If the relative density is 13.56, then rho mercury will be 13.56 into 1000, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
13560 kg per meter cube.
Right. Similarly, I'll just copy this line. Rho of alcohol will be, what's the specific relative density given?
0.8.
Alcohol?
0.82.
0.82. So it will be
0.82
kg per meter.
820.
into 1000.
Into
That
1000.
means
So 820 kg per meter cube.
820 kg per meter cube.
Right. Now, do not forget that relative density can also be termed as specific gravity. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, we'll follow our logic while solving these problems. First of all, hydrostatic pressure variation equation tells us that if I go vertically downwards, what happens? Pressure increases. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
By how much amount? by rho into g into the depth up to which you are going from the current point, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you are going up, then pressure decreases by how much amount? Rho into g into the distance by which you are going up from the present point. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But not only that, we also know if I move horizontally from one point to another, just 1 second. If I go horizontally from one point to another, pressure does not change. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
But there is a catch here. Say I consider 2 points, okay? 1 point here. Can you see the screen, my crossbar?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
see my crossbar? So 1 point here and another point here. I cannot say pressure here and here are same, though I am moving horizontally from left to right. Why? Because the derivation that you did, remember, the 2 points were connected by a continuous fluid, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Here, these 2 points are not connected by a continuous fluid. You have a discontinuity of fluids here as you move from one point to another. Do you agree?
Continuum principle
Yes,
is
sir.
violated.
But
Yes, sir.
I can consider this logic to be valid between 2 points here in the blue limb, because these 2 points are connected by a continuous fluid, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
these two things you remember as gospel. Number one, if you are going down from a particular point, pressure will increase by an amount rho into g into the depth up to which you are going down. If you are going up, pressure will decrease by a particular amount, which is rho into g into the height up to which you are going up. And if you move horizontally between 2 points connected continuously by a fluid, the pressures should be equal. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let us name some of the points. Say, I have 2 points, A and B already named. Let me name this point as C. C is a point where the meniscus on the left limb lies. I name another point, I call it D. D is a point on the right hand side limb at the same horizontal level as C. E is a point which is the free surface, which is the meniscus on the right hand limb. Are the 3 points clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let us also define another distance. That is the location of any one of the flask. Any one, I have chosen this flask, you could have chosen the other flask also. From the menisci on any one of the limbs. Let me call this as you will see, this term won't exist. Let me call this as H0. So the H0 basically identifies the location of the manometer with respect to the flasks. Okay. Now, what is the pressure at A? Tell me. What is the pressure at A? Let it be PA. Okay. We have to find out PA minus PB. Remember what have they asked in the problem? What have they asked? What is the difference of pressure between the two vessels? So we have to find out PA minus PB. Do you all agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the pressure at A is PA, the pressure at B is PB. Similarly, pressure at C, I call it as PC. The pressure at D, I call it at PD. And the pressure at E, I call it as PE. Is the naming acceptable to all?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, looking at points A and C, where do you think the pressure will be higher?
Sir, C.
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 C, because it is at a greater depth, it is at a lesser height than A. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So I can write my manometric equation as P. PC should be PA plus what? Tell me by how much amount it will be higher? Rho of this yellow fluid,
Rho
because
GH naught.
we are connected by the yellow fluid, into G, into this elevation difference, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So it will be rho alcohol into G into X0. Is this all right? Is this all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Everybody, is this all right? I'm asking
Yes, sir.
others also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what will be the pressure in D with respect to pressure at C? Will it be higher or lower?
Sir, higher.
Why is D at a lower depth than C?
No, sir. There are two liquids, so and a greater
No,
density liquid is there.
no. They are connected by the same liquid,
Oh,
the blue
yes.
liquid at the bottom.
So it
Same.
will
What
be
will be the
same. It
pressure?
will be the same. It will be the same.
It will be same.
So it will be the same.
Because
They have the same fluid.
D lies at the same. Yes, because they lie at the same horizontal level and they are connected by a continuous fluid element. So it won't be wrong to say that PD will be equal to, and it will be equal to this. Agreed? Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes
sir.
or no?
Yes, sir.
Now let us consider points D and E. Again, they are connected by the same fluid. Now E pressure will be higher, lesser, or equal to that of D.
D will be at a higher pressure.
Higher, sir.
than E.
E will be lower.
So the pressure at E, what will happen? Will it be higher than D or lower than D or equal to D?
The lower than
Lower
D.
than D.
Lower than D. Is everybody following the logic?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So PE will be PD minus how much? The density of the blue fluid into G into this height. What is the density of the blue fluid? Rho mercury. Isn't it? Isn't it? Yes or no? I need an answer.
Sir, I couldn't understand what you said.
The blue fluid, is this fluid alcohol or mercury?
Mercury, sir.
Mercury.
Mercury.
So it will be density of mercury, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Into G. And what will be the height difference? Let us see. See, HB minus HA means this much height from D to B. Then how much is D to E? Okay, I do not require that. It's HM. I know the height. Is this clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
From D to E, you are going up by a height HM. So, pressure at E will be pressure at D minus the density of the liquid, that is density of mercury, into G into the height difference, that is HM. Is this clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Is
Yes.
this clear to all?
Yes, sir.
But we already know PD, so I'll simply write this thing as PD minus, is PE okay? Is PE okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now come here. Will the pressure at B be lesser than or greater than or equal to pressure at E?
Lesser.
Lesser, because B is at a
Lesser.
higher point. So, PB will be equal to PE minus what is the density of the fluid connecting E and B? Tell me. This yellow fluid, what is this fluid?
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Alcohol. So minus rho alcohol into G into what is the difference in elevation? See, HB minus HA is height between D and B. HB minus H, no, sorry. HB, will somebody tell me how much is the height? Okay, interesting. Tell me. Come on, tell me. Come on, this is geometry. Sorry. Somebody tell me this height is HA. Am I right? How much is this height? How much is this height? Will somebody tell me?
That means, sir,
HB
we
minus
are.
HA.
Is this okay? Oh, just one sec. Is this HB minus HA? Yes,
Yes,
or no?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Tell me how much is this height? How much is this height?
H naught minus H.
HA.
Exactly. This height is H0 minus HM. All right. Then what is the height between E and B? What is this height then? That is the height we need. That is the height we need. So how much is this height?
So sum of HB minus HA and HO minus HM.
HB minus HA plus
Absolutely.
H naught minus H naught.
Just 1 second. Give me 1 second, please. Okay. How much is this height then?
HB minus HA plus H naught minus HM.
Brilliant. So it will be HB minus HA plus H naught minus HM. Do you all agree? Everybody.
Yes, sir. Agree.
It will be rho alcohol into G into this height. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, sir, you're right.
Okay. How much is PE? I know PE is PA plus this. So this can be written as okay, this went in the next line. Right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is everybody
Single
following?
minus sign.
There will be a minus sign. Where's my dear? Okay, two minus sign. Sorry. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. We need to find out PA minus PB. So I'm just copying the equation here. And then I can write PA minus PB from the above equation will be equal to plus this. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you see the H0 term gets cancelled?
Yes, sir.
So it really doesn't matter what is H0. Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you look at the expression, you know Hb minus Ha, you know Hm, you know rho alcohol, you know rho mercury, you know G. Can you find out Pa minus Pb? Can you do that? Everything in the right hand side is known to you. Hb minus Ha is known, Hm is known, rho mercury is known, rho alcohol is known. So you can find out how much is Pa minus Pb, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. There was another part. What is the difference of the piezometric head? Now, what is the pressure head? Now, the difference of piezometric head between points A and B. What will be that?
Sir, we'll divide the entire equation by P alcohol into G.
First, let us write down the piezometric head difference. That will be, what is the piezometric head at A? It will be, just give me 1 second time. Just give me 1 second time. It will be Pa by rho alcohol into G. That is the pressure head at A. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
That is the pressure head at A. What is piezometric head? Piezometric head is this plus the elevation. This is the piezometric head at A. Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the piezometric head at B? Agreed?
Yes, sir.
This is the difference of piezometric heads between points A and B. Now, this can be very conveniently written as, if you look carefully, Right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Now, you already know what is PA minus PB numerically. So, PA minus PB by rho alcohol G, if I drop out the cancel terms, that will be simply rho mercury by just let me know if I'm making any mistake. Into HM yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Come on, I need an answer.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then what will be the difference of piezometric head if I just substitute here this term? First term I just substitute by what I have derived here. Plus HA minus HB. So this HB minus HA gets cancelled. So what are we left with? We are left with this thing. Check whether this is right or wrong.
Yes, sir.
Understood? Understood, everybody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you noted it down?
So we are
Yes, sir.
noting.
Yes.
The problem has a second part, that if you change the U-tube manometer with an inverted U-tube manometer, instead of mercury, you now have a manometric liquid whose relative density is 0.74, less than alcohol, 0.82. So you go for inverted. With this pressure difference, the numerical value that you get here, PA minus PB, and with the same arrangement of A and B separated by 2 meters, what will be the reading of the manometer? I would request you to give it a try. If you cannot, I'm always there. But I guess you should give it a try.
Sir, the mercury is replaced.
No, in the first case, see the density, relative density of mercury was 13.56, alcohol was 0.82. So the manometric fluid was heavier than the system fluid. So we go for a straight U-tube.
Mhm.
Now the second case, the mercury is replaced by a fluid with a relative density of 0.74. Now this is lighter than alcohol. So you
Yes,
cannot
sir.
have this configuration. The liquid will float up. So
Yes,
you
sir.
go for an inverted U-tube manometer. A and B still separated by 2 meters. And PA minus PB is this numerical value that you calculate. With that numerical value, find out what will be HM. Is the problem clear?
Yes, sir.
I've deliberately chosen this problem because if you can do this problem, you can do any damn problem in manometry. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any further questions? All right. So I will stop here today. But there is a bad news for me and a good news for you guys. Tomorrow I cannot take the class. Tomorrow I have to actually give a talk in a seminar, and the time is typically clashing with your class. So tomorrow class is off. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Is this clear? So we'll meet next Wednesday again. Next Wednesday, we'll carry on with the remaining part of the slides of lecture 2. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So long for today. Goodbye then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night, sir.